Hello guys, this is Arizenji here. It took me so long to set this up because I was going through a lot of technical issues, and now I am finally here. And this is I did 4, so this is episode 5 of Ronin's Mind, and this topic is going to be about self-confidence, self/self-value, basically. And my guest I have here today is Connor, one of my great friends that works out a lot and does a lot of stuff, and he really holds himself to a high standard because he has a lot of, hard work and build like morals and stuff like that, and many other things. So, welcome. This is Connor. Say hi to everyone that's going to be watching.
Nice to meet you guys. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
My name is Connor.
Yep.
That's right.
So this topic is going to be about self-confidence. So the way how I like to start on these is, how did you develop your self-confidence? Like, what did you go through in order just to develop that nice self-confidence, self-value, that type of journey, just to hold yourself to a very nice, positive mindset, and also a very healthy, like, physical well-being as well, since you are very, very built. Like, you're like 200 and something pounds of pure muscle. So yeah,
that's right. Worked hard for sure. Yeah. Well, just to give a little bit of background, because I'm sure everyone has gone through this at some point in their life, right? Especially if you're going through it right now. I wasn't always, how I'm feeling now, where I can describe myself as feeling very confident in who I am, and regardless of what other people think, which I know is a very difficult thing to do, especially with how life is right now and how much value people place in what other people think. And so just to give you a little bit of an idea, when I was younger, so in my middle school, early high school years, and even going back from there, I was an extremely short, overweight kid, high-pitched voice and everything, and because of that, I didn't have a lot of confidence in who I was, and I didn't know who I wanted to be. And much like many other people that go through this, with these insecurities, I was made fun of a lot. I got bullied in school, the whole shebang. And I felt lost, and I didn't know where to go. I didn't know who to talk to. I mean, I felt like I was alone, isolated from everyone else, with nowhere to go. But once I hit high school, once I hit my freshman year, I decided that something needed to change. I needed to do something. Something needed to happen for me to get away from this, because obviously nothing happens without a change. You can never feel better about yourself or feel better about who you want to be without making a change, without doing something different than you were before. So for myself, I came up with goals. So for me, the biggest thing with, feeling better about yourself and looking towards the future is making yourself really, really high standard goals to push yourself towards. And it's not always necessarily about 100% accomplishing these goals, but more about giving you something to strive through, or strive to, I mean.
Oh, okay. That is very amazing. So these goals were the main thing that helped drive you forward to where you are now, basically. So after all the bullying, not knowing who to talk to, that of that nature, feeling a bit lost a little bit, and really struggling to really express yourself nowadays, and then, well, from back then to now, I've known you as like a bold type. Like, you're very bold when you do things now, since you set goals for yourself, and you've been like really working at it. You do a lot of things, and you're a very stand-up guy. And by the long time I've known you, you're jacked for a person your age. Like, he's been jacked way before he even reached fucking 18. I want y'all to know this. Like, he hit 18 like last month, I think, right? Yeah, so
That's
this,
right. Well,
like,
actually,
this
month,
man right
August
here.
1st. So,
Oh yeah. Oh wait, your birthday's in August?
feels good. Yeah, August 1st birthday. Kudos to Leos, right?
Oh
That's
well,
right.
my birthday is coming up soon, so yeah, I'm about to hit that milestone in my life. Uh, yeah, so setting goals for yourself and really working hard towards those goals can be a life changing thing for you, so that so you can have better self confidence, more self value, and really get yourself out of that negative like environment and mindset of what you put yourself through. Because the more you put yourself through these negative emotional situations, the more it drains you and the more you don't really want to do anything, and it really sucks. And I would know that from a personal experience. And when it comes to me and Connor focused on his body and stuff like that. This will get to main goals and stuff like that. When it came to me, how I dealt with my stuff, I focus on other things that can help distract me and get me to a better position compared to like I was back then. So always in like getting better than yourself from yesterday. That's basically how it is. So yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely a day by day thing.
yeah. So the more you do better, like it's a slow process. Clearly, not everyone gets so great in one day, which a lot of people do for don't think about.
Exactly.
Like people really wish they were like, oh my god, I want to be like that person like immediately, when like it's not really the case. So it's not really like an immediate thing, but the more you work towards it, the more results you get. And Connor's been doing this for
Exactly.
years,
That's exactly the
and
idea.
he's been jacked. And he does a lot of things. He does a lot of weightlifting and stuff like that. He also does martial arts, a lot of martial arts. He does a lot of MMA. he's
I do.
he's
I
a
do,
very
yeah.
interesting guy. He's a very interesting guy. So yeah, really like it.
So I think one of the important things is like with, I say setting up goals for myself, and a lot of you might be asking, how do I come up with these goals? How can I make sure that I have the motivation to get through them? And I'll let you know, most of the time you don't. Yeah, I know it seems crazy, right? It's like, well, how can you do something without having the motivation for it? That's why they're goals in the first place, because
Yes.
sometimes you don't have the motivation to get them done, but you have to anyway. So what I did for myself was I had, for me, obviously, when I did it, I had a planner. Now, I mean, you can use anything you really wanted to use. And like I said, it's day by day, which is why I used a planner. So I created a plan each and every single day of what I was going to do and what I wanted to get done, whether it was working out or school or whatever. Because I told myself, one, I had to keep my grades up.
Mm-hmm.
And two, I had to make sure I was getting my body in check and learning who I wanted to be and other stuff like that. So I created a planner. And if I didn't follow through with what I had done for one day, I came up with a sort of consequences. Now, it's not the consequences you might be thinking of, because most people have a really negative connotation to what consequences actually are.
Yeah.
A consequence is just something that is an effect from a cause. Cause and effect. That's what consequences really are at the heart of it, at the base of what a consequence is. So you don't have to, put yourself down or put this in some negative mindset. My consequences came up with an assortment of different things. For example, if I didn't succeed in my working out, my consequence would be, all right, I need to make sure that the next day I need to eat all 3 of my meals. That I need to make sure that I eat healthy things and have a balanced diet. Or maybe like I was putting something off, like procrastinating something. So my consequence would be getting that done right away instead of procrastinating it and pushing off. So the consequences don't really have to be something that negatively impacts you or makes you feel worse about yourself.
Yes.
It's just something that gets you in the mindset of being like, you have to get these things done. And if you don't, there's a consequence of doing so.
Yep. So basically, just making it more of a motivation for you just to get those things done and really strive for those goals and stuff like that, which a lot of people tend to misconcept like consequences a lot, like you said, since people mainly focus on the negative side of consequences than the positive sides of things, depending on the situation, of course, and stuff like that. when it comes to me, I never thought I would get far doing this. But then I made a goal for myself to really, really try and see how far I can get. And how far I've gotten was pretty damn good. And I'm very proud of myself for that. And this right here is mostly what I like to do a lot and what I enjoy doing. Working out is another thing that I do like doing, even though it's been like a very, very long time, like probably a year or so and stuff like that. But to be honest, I do like working out. Weightlifting and all that stuff really do helps the mind a lot because you're really putting all your frustrations out on your body by making it better. And that is something that takes a lot of like built-in mindset from your consequences and stuff like that just to really go after that type of thing. And I really, really like how he portrays it because it can really help you, and it's not a negative thing. It can be a positive thing. And having an agenda or a notebook or something like that just to really document all of your progress can be really helpful because then you can see from the very beginning from what you were now to compare to you was back then. And you'll be surprised to see if you keep up that journey and stuff like that and document it and really like keep going. You'll be surprised how much progress you made that whole entire time without even breaking a sweat and thinking about it, since you are really focusing and trying. And it'll feel like months have gone past, and yet you are a master at probably at something that's like small or big, depending on how big your goal is. My goal right now is to become an amazing streamer slash content creator on YouTube and do things that I personally enjoy and like. And from right now, how I'm doing pretty good. I'm very surprised of how much I've gotten through these past couple of days and what I'm doing. I'm surprised of how much I've been so committed towards something because I never been the type to commit to anything too often since I always failed at something. I've always known to quit for it. But nowadays, I actually really, really put my efforts towards it and really try it and actually learn from it. And this man right here is a prime example of what you should do nowadays. Just really, really help you with your bad mindset, bad habits, and all that stuff. Just to really get you that nice personality in life towards your own goals, so that you can live happier. Because at the end of the day, it's up to you if you want to make yourself happy or miserable. It's really up to you. So yeah. So I really like how he portrays it.
I think that is a great way to put it. I like the confidence in that. And don't be afraid to be proud of yourself. Like a lot of times people look up to approval from other people when really you can honestly just take pride in who you are. You know, self-approval and approving of who you are is one of the biggest things that comes with self-confidence. It's being able to stand back and be like, hey, regardless of what he thinks, or maybe it's your parents, like regardless of what your parents think or your friends think, or maybe you need the slim weight, whatever it needs to be, you're the only one that needs to approve of who you are, regardless of what other people think. And that's something I think a lot of people need to learn. Because it's so important to understanding your mental health and how that affects you day to day. And at that point you can't make excuses for it because it's on you. In the end, it's on you. Your choices you make, how you view yourself, it's all in your head. Life is a mind game. Learning new things is a mind game. Now you may be asking, like, you're talking about these goals and you might be wondering what kind of goals I made, right? So for example, like Mayo was saying, I felt like I needed to, like, for me, it was my body. So I was like, I eat better, make sure I'm eating 3 meals. I'm working out on a day-to-day basis. Obviously starting out small, I would just do a small workout in the morning every day, which developed to then going to the gym once I felt confident enough. Making friends that encourage you to do the right thing. I think having a really good friend group,
Yes,
and a group of people that you can be honest with and trustworthy with is another big help to having self-confidence, because you don't need to do it alone.
Yep. Having good emotional support from the other people around your friends group and stuff like that can really push you a long way and stuff like that. And for me personally, this has been like a journey for me as well when I'm doing content creating and stuff like that. And there are times where I feel I really wish I'd done this better, or I feel like a fuck up for like not doing this on this particular time and stuff like that. But then I always have people saying, hey, it's okay, everyone misses like a day, sometimes the schedule is not, it doesn't go according to plan, sometimes schedules are not meant for you, like certain schedules and stuff like that, so it is okay and fine. And that type of support for me really helped me out a lot, especially yesterday when I missed Rona's Mines the other time, because I was planning on doing like a different segment since Connor wasn't gonna be there like on Monday, like I wanted it to, but I wasn't able to do anything because I just really wasn't in a good mindset at that time. But after that, I gotten better, and then look, and here I am now. I'm still recording. I'm still doing right. I'm still doing well. I'm still enjoying this. I'm still enjoying this so much. I really love this series a lot still. I even was able to finally bring Connor on and stuff like that, which it didn't take long. He was just a busy man at that one particular time, and I it's really not as well and nothing like that. And I yeah, and it really it's really good. It's really good to have that good like small like supportive friend group because they really push you to great lengths just to make sure you want better. And I will always would do the same for Connor and anyone else that has their own goals. So it's a beautiful thing. It really is. So like dive into more about like you when it comes to your like your goals and stuff like that when you are trying to like complete them and stuff.
All right, so when it comes to the goals and trying to complete them, basically all I did was that I took it to the most simplistic idea possible. The worst thing you can do is complicate something that's really, really easy.
Yes.
So one of the first things I did, I was like, I decided that within the past, how long has it been? 5, 6 years now that I've been working out and doing different things. I picked 10 different things that I wanted to either try, master, enjoy, push myself towards, or strive to. 10 different things.
Mhm.
That's it. It's not a whole lot when you consider 5 or 6 years that have passed. Just 10 things. It's so important to try new things, and a lot of people shy away from it because people hate the idea of failing. Here's the thing: failing isn't really failing. That
It's
sounds
a
kinda weird,
learning.
right? Like,
It's a learning thing.
everyone,
Yeah.
exactly. Everyone, uses this word failure in a way that describes you, and that's not exactly how that works. You're not a failure. You're not a fuck up for doing something wrong or not accomplishing what you want to do. Failure is not the right word. And now you may be asking, what exactly could this idea of failure be described as other than failure? Now, the way I thought of it as, because despite, obviously what Mayo said, how I react to different things, I have failed countless times over again. And you're like, well, how does that make me feel any better? Trying new things and keeping yourself, instead of just hiding away and shying away from your potential, doing new things and finding what you really enjoy and working on it, improving on it, makes you feel so much better. Like, it's incredible the effects that it has on your psyche and going forward, what you want to do and finding your purpose. Doing new things is such an important part of that journey because brain growth, development, how making yourself feels work, or how to make yourself feel better, and how that works not just mentally and emotionally but chemically, and how your body, how your system responds to different things. Learning new things and responding to that makes yourself feel better. For example, when you work out, obviously from a scientific standpoint, it literally makes you feel better. It produces something called endorphins, or natural endorphins, which, working out, believe it or not, is like the natural feeling to getting high. That's literally like working out, the natural feeling to getting high. Like, most people, especially not today, people,
It's a great ass feeling, dude.
a lot of
That
different
when
things
you really
as
work yourself to the core with your workout, that's a great ass feeling. I would know since I did track and stuff like that.
it is.
It is fucking amazing. It really is.
And what you accomplish from it is even better, because you can take a look at the self that you were then and where you're at now, or maybe you accomplished your goal or whatever it is. you feel so great. And a lot of times when people get into these slumps in their life where they're not doing anything, they're not approaching new things, there's no goals, they're insecure with themselves, unfortunately they choose different outlets of ways to, well, how I put it would be to distract themselves. And instead of being focused and on the right path to improving themselves, they choose an easy way out, or
Yeah.
what they feel in their head is the only way out. And unfortunately that happens with a lot of young people today, is they feel like there's no options, and so they resort to addictions, so drinking often, smoking a lot of weed, other drugs, etc. These things all tend to all become outlets to distract you from how you're actually feeling, and then you just kind of ignore those emotions, and that is
Yeah.
the worst thing that you can do for yourself.
Another thing is that when you're going to these type of outlets, they're only temporary. They don't last forever compared to working towards yourself and making yourself better. That lasts forever, which gives you that main energy just to do a lot more things that you could possibly imagine. So when you're going to these like type of outlets like drugs and stuff like that, or different worse things, they're only temporary. They don't last forever, which people always go for more and more since it comes so addicting. Since all they want to do is forget this horrible feeling that they're going through right now. And I would know, but I haven't done no drugs or anything like that. I just kept like doing things that weren't necessarily helping me entirely, like most of the time, and it just didn't work. So after a while, it took me and me only just to take matters into my own hands as I want better for myself and really strive to really fix myself, to really become better. And then it went away and it was like magic, and it felt amazing and it felt great. So yeah, always keep that in mind when you're going through these types of stuff. Yeah, it might be fun, it might be cool and stuff like that, but also in the end, it doesn't really help you too much to what you really want. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. So a topic that I really kind of wanted to bring up is the idea of like people placing this label of masculinity or femininity or whatever it is, because I feel like this is a really controversial topic that people are kind of afraid to kind of talk about. I think labeling those kinds of things is dumb. Like, there's no reason to label one thing, as masculinity or one thing as being feminine. The concept is completely stupid because it comes up with this idea. Like, for example, one of the biggest ones is something I like to call vulnerability.
Yeah.
Because what tends to happen often is that, not just with guys, but with girls too, people are afraid to share who they are. People are afraid to embrace their own personality and to open up to someone. People feel like they put on this mask, this facade, an illusion of who they are, rather than what's coming from the inside and what they can be and what they're really feeling. I always encourage people to be vulnerable. Whether you're a guy and you feel like, oh, I'm this big tough guy or whatever, or you want to be this big tough guy, or if you're a guy and you feel like there's no one out there that can help you, and you're isolated in your room, you're closed off from everyone else, you feel like no one's like you, you're too different, and there's no way for you to fit in. Be vulnerable, because you're not alone. There are so many people out there stay invulnerable for too long, and they realize that and they shatter, and that's it. You get one chance. There's not two chances. There's no going back. Each decision you make, regardless of the effects, that's permanent. No backsies. So taking this step to be vulnerable with someone, actually voicing how you feel, is one of the best things to actually approach your problems, and then to make the goals for yourself. Because see, being vulnerable doesn't mean it's going to fix everything, but what being vulnerable allows you to do is not only do you hear advice from other people, but when you're hearing it from yourself, it allows you to better understand how you yourself are feeling, and then it becomes easier to make the goals Ron.
Yes, that is perfect. Well said and stuff like that. Because no matter how much you feel different from others, there's probably like people out there that feel the exact same way. So like you're really not alone when it comes to feeling vulnerable or you feel different from other people, which is okay. It is totally fine to feel this way towards like something like that, because I used to have that type of mindset as well. But then afterwards, I found a group of friends and stuff like that, especially on here, that I can talk to and stuff like that, and they also felt the same way. So, and then look where I'm at now. I'm doing great. I'm doing nice. I'm loving this, and I am in a better mindset and a better place as well overall, which is far for the ultimate goal that I always wanted. I'm still striving for that big thing that I really want in my life, and when I get there, I can't wait to look back on this video and then like reference it, saying like how much I really wanted to get, in that better place, and then I'd be there. So yeah, so it's an amazing thing,
Well
amazing
said.
thing.
Well said. It is an amazing thing. One thing that I want to stress for people is the issue of comparing yourself. So a lot of people, when they get into this mindset, is because they start comparing themselves to other people. Instead of striving towards your own goals, you make goals based on what other people think. And here's the issue with that: every goal that you make for yourself has to be personal.
Yep.
It cannot be in accordance. Like, I gave you some examples, right? But you can't take what I did and say that it'll work for yourself, because that's not it. Unfortunately, it's not that easy. So each one of you that that watch the video, that are going through that, or have some sort of concept of what I'm talking about, what you have to do is come up with personal goals for yourself, explore new things that actually apply to you regardless of what they are. Even if it's things that you may find like are culturally unacceptable, or you feel like don't fit in with everyone else. But then when you realize that when you do these things, you find other people that do them too. Like you're again, going back to the last topic, you're not alone in these things that you enjoy doing, even if you may feel like it. So each goal that you make, each new thing that you want to do, has to be personal to you. There's no model for feeling better about yourself, because you're the only you. There's not a single copy.
Yep.
No one can be made the same way.
Well said, because you're basically you. You can't be someone else. As much as you try, you would never be that one person. You can even use a bunch of surgeries and stuff like that and other substances just to make yourself look like the other person. In the end, you're not them. You are you. There's only one person
Well
that
said.
is you on this planet, and that is you. Just how I am Arizenji, and there will be only one Arizenji on this planet. Just how there will be only one Connor on this planet. There will only be one Connor on this planet. So your identity is basically you and only you, and you can do something with it to make yourself better than most people and strive for wanting good and positive vibes that makes you a wantable person and likable. And what I went through, I usually be a bit too shy nowadays and stuff like that, but then now I'm a very likable person. A lot of people like talking to me as well. Some people come to me a lot, talk about certain things and stuff like that, and also about like personal issues. I usually give my advice on them and how I can help to a degree, but I never claim to be an expert in anything, especially like no matter what it is. I'm never really an expert in anything, but I'm great at learning, so I just like learning about these things and try my best to help out other people that are probably going through the same experience. So I like to become wise and very knowledgeable and stuff like that, and also really get through these times. So that's how showing off my examples and stuff that will maybe guide you to the right path and make you want better and become a better person. That's all I want. That's how I want that for Connor and everyone else that I care about. and they want the same for me. So yeah, we do a lot of things together. We respect one another. We also push each other to some want better things, and we just really, really try, and we have fun with it. So yeah, well said by Connor. Really well said.
All right, so is there any other questions like you thought about that maybe you want to bring up that maybe I haven't encountered on, or
What
push
was
out
the
myself? Is there anything
most
else you'd
yeah?
wish to-
What is the most hardest thing you ever encountered that you had to deal with that took you a very long time to accomplish?
I think honestly over everything. And it's obviously it's different for everyone, but I think the biggest hurdle for me was getting past myself. Like, it's an interesting concept to say that you are your own enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Because it felt like, especially when I was younger, it felt like little me then was trying to break through who I am now. And that is probably the hardest hurdle that you have to get past, is getting past yourself and finding it within yourself to make those changes. That's definitely the hardest part in the whole journey. As soon as you get past yourself, you open so many doors and opportunities to what you could become. Because most of the time people tend to look at this door in front of them, this imaginary door, this dark mass in their way, and they feel like there's no way to get around it. And all they have to do is either open the door or just walk around it. And it sounds maybe a little cringy, a little stupid. You're like, oh well, how does that work, right? It's so crazy how people overcomplicate even the simplest
things,
of things. And getting past yourself is, in my opinion, the biggest out of all of them. So it's all the first step, and obviously all of it's baby steps, but the first step is getting past yourself, opening that door, and recognizing that there's so many more opportunities for you to express yourself in tons of great ways, rather than limiting yourself in this narrow mindset in the cellar of your mind, but instead letting yourself shine as to who you really are.
Very well said. And
yeah,
it really is a struggle, because yourself is your own worst enemy compared to anything else that you've ever went against. So it really do make sense where you really will struggle with yourself and stuff like that. I would know this since I go through this on a daily basis. So yeah, everyone knows that. It's just hard just to get over it, since we complicate the most simplest things just to get around it a lot, and I mean a lot. But once we get around it, it is by far the most satisfying and most greatest thing of all time to feel, and it is amazing.
It really is. It's extremely amazing. It's a beautiful thing to recognize that there's so much more to you than what you originally thought. There's so much more worth in yourself than you think you have all the time. Self-confidence is the first step to unlocking who you can be, because you'll never get anywhere without having it. So it really is that important.
Very nice. Very well said. What's the next question I can ask? Oh, I actually got one. Do you have any future goals that you plan on setting for yourself just to get even better than what you are today?
Of course. See, the thing with self-confidence means that you don't just, I said to start off with those 10 goals, right? 10 new things for yourself to learn, embrace, strive for. But to be honest, the whole process is never ending. Even up until you're old and whatever, that mindset still has to keep going, because when you stop, you actually just go back to the way you were feeling before. And people don't really realize that. They think that, as soon as you achieve something great, you'll always be great. And that's unfortunately not the case. You have to keep striving for new things, keep pushing yourself, keep making new goals, new things to strive for. For me, my next steps, you know, I want to go to college. I want to come out as a doctor, for example. I know it's hard work, but I believe that I can get there. And I have the confidence to strive, at least strive for it. And even if I fail, the learning experience and the people I met along the way make it worthwhile anyway. So just bring the same level of energy, the same mindset to everything you do for the rest of your life.
Yep.
Keep the mindset, keep the confidence, and keep striving for new things.
So great, so perfect in so many ways. Okay, I think that's all the questions I have for you, unless you want to ask me some things. I guess it could be related to the topic or whatever. We can keep this going probably for a little bit longer.
All I have to say,
yeah,
all I have to say is that, you know, with everything that we've been saying and Mayo has said, I can give it 100% credibility. I have been witness, you know, to this man for the past, I don't know, a year or so, and I've seen how caring and how responsible he can be. And to anyone out there, everything he says is trustworthy, credible, and he's just an all-around great guy. So I can't help but be extremely proud, not only of my friend, but also of what he's becoming and what he's doing. And so I cannot say that enough. So keep supporting him, keep showing him love, and yeah, that's all I really have to say.
All right, dude, that's very heartwarming. I really appreciate it, because the same thing goes for you, because I've seen what you were. I witnessed your hardships and stuff like that, what you went through, special relationships and all that stuff, and you really was struggling, but at the end of the day, you became a better man, like, every single day, and it's very amazing. It's so cool, and I'm very proud of you, of what you've been going through, and very, like, how you were able just to take it and make it into something better and positive. No matter how grim or negative it was, you made it to where, like, it's not going to stop you for what you want to be and what you want to do, and I'm very, very happy for you for that, Connor. Very happy for you for that. And plus, you helped me out a lot throughout my throughout this whole year and stuff like that, especially when it comes to me trying to do content creating and stuff like that, because it was a struggle at first, but at the end of the day, you still, like, was there supporting me no matter what, just how my lover is and many other people. And I am very thankful for all of you, and especially you, since you are an amazing person and a great man, and everything you say can be also credibility to him as well, because he does a lot of things, and he has a lot of experience, and he's very wise with many things. So the things that he says is very credibility, and even if, like, you bring up something he doesn't know about, he will actually go a good length just to actually learn about it and then try to help you anyway, regardless of what it is. And it's crazy, and it's amazing, and it's cool no matter what it is. So he's amazing, and Connor's awesome for that.
Oh, thanks, man. I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate you. And I know I don't do it enough, but I tell you what, man, I love you. You're great. You're awesome. So I really appreciate you inviting me on the show.
Yeah, and I would love to do it again and many other different topics as well, because you are very smart, very wise and stuff like that. And who knows, maybe if you start dabbling into medicines and stuff like that and becoming a doctor or whatever, I might bring you on here just to talk about like self-embodiment of health and stuff like that. You never know. You might come back on this show.
Yeah.
Whatever you learn and you want to express to other people,
of course,
just
you know,
I'd love to get you on.
I'm always open. It was a wonderful experience. I'm just so honored that you allowed me to be on it. So thank you.
No problem. All right, guys. Well, we hopefully got the point across to all of you who are struggling with all of this and willing to seek change within yourself. If you always want more, please leave a like. I never say that a lot in my videos. I need to start doing that, but I don't want to be like that stereotype. But leave a like, comment, subscribe. Give me ideas or other topics you want me to do on Ronin's Minds, and I will pick out the ones that I can try best to convey to you all. I might bring a personal guest as well, so that's so I can help out with it more. So that's so you can like get like at least a bit of understanding or whatever. Because we're all not experts on a lot of things, but we try our best is to give off the best advice that we can because we don't want to leave anyone out into the dirt, you know, because we already go through a lot, especially in 2022. It's already been a hell of a ride already. So I want to be that positive mindset to lead people in the right direction and also have a great time and also learn and have a good mindful enjoyment. So leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell notification as well if you want to be up to date on when I'm gonna post and stuff like that. Please follow my Instagram, my Twitch. I plan on streaming this week and stuff like that. I'm gonna be streaming Division 2, maybe Division 2. I'm definitely gonna be streaming Watch Dogs 2 because I'm enjoying that game a lot. So that's all. Any final words that you want to say to the audience before we end recording?
Just to end it, I believe in yourself, because ultimately everything you do comes from the individual. It comes from who you are. So focus on you, believe in yourself, and I'm sure each one of you, no matter what you look like, what background you come from, will understand how worthy you are.
Yeah, it's so good. Alright guys, that was it. I really love this series. I still would love to do more of it. I'm doing great. Connor will be doing great. I would love to have him back on the show again. This is by far one of my next favorite like shows I've done, especially when I'm doing it with more people. So, alright, that's it. See you guys around. See you later, my fellow Ronins.